So today I want to talk a little bit about expansion joints, why they're so important, how to tell if yours are done properly, and what happens if they're not done properly and they're not taken care of. Hey, I'm Matt DiBara, owner of DiBara Masonry. We are the leading masonry and concrete specialists here in Los Angeles. My family's been helping homeowners for over 100 years. So, if you're looking for tips, tricks, and ways to avoid contractor scams, you're in the right place. Ciao. So here we have concrete, and you'll notice in these areas, you'll see these lines. These are saw cut expansion joints. You can see here, there's one, there's another one right here. And these are vital to the success of your concrete because what happens is inevitably concrete moves when it gets really hot and shrinks when it gets cold. So you have expansion. Now the general rule of thumb that we use is we don't like anything bigger than an 8x8 or 9x9 square. Now there's obviously certain circumstances where things change. You might want to go a little bigger because of pattern and visual effects and things like that. So again, a general rule of thumb. But what I want to show you here is what happens if the joints aren't spaced out properly, what will take place. So if I go ahead and measure here, from that line to this crack, it measures 8 feet 5 inches. Now, if I go ahead and measure on this side, from the other one, it's 8 feet 5 inches. So what happened here is because we didn't cut in a nice clean line to create expansion and allow for movement, nature did it on its own. And it's ironic that it's in the exact midpoint of the two lines that are already existing. So it's very, very important that whenever you have concrete installed, that you have a licensed professional who understands this principle. And for you, all you have to do to know if they're done properly is go outside with a tape measure and look and measure. And if you see lines that are longer than 10 feet, you know that there's a chance that you probably need to saw cut in some more expansion joints. So like I showed you over there, it's very, very important that in a perfect world, the expansion joints in your concrete are cut in and cut in evenly, because if they're not, nature's gonna make them happen and it's gonna find its own expansion and movement. What's really important is that if nature creates a crack, it's not gonna be as even or clean as if a contractor cuts that in. So once you notice that, you wanna call a licensed professional who can take a look and tell you what the next steps are. I don't know if you remember in the previous video, I showed you the quarter test. What we're gonna do is we're going to go ahead and check this crack here. Now we can see that a quarter fits in the crack with room to spare. Now, what happened here was there wasn't a joint cut in where it needed to be, and so nature caused the cracking, but when it does it, it usually breaks the concrete at the surface. So it's very important that you identify them early on, like I just showed you, where the cracks are very, very small, where we can go ahead and cut them in and relieve it before something like this takes place, and you have bigger cause for concern where water gets in there, it could eventually rust the rebar and other elements that a licensed professional will be able to describe to you on site. That's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want more tips, tricks, and techniques on how to properly maintain your home, click the like or subscribe button below, and there's more to come.